Google just dropped a few bombs, so listen up if you want to know how it might impact your business. I joined the Google Marketing Live Southeast Asia today in Singapore, and here are the key things what we've heard. There were 7 key learnings that took away from the event, and I'll go through each one, and more importantly, what it means for your business. Also, save this video if you want to watch it later, because there's a lot to unpack. The biggest theme was clear. Google is moving deeper into the agentic AI area. This is not just about AI overviews anymore. Google's pushing AI across search, YouTube, commerce, creative, measurement, and even maps. The core message was that Gemini is becoming the intelligence layer across Google's ecosystem. That sounds powerful, but it also raises important questions for business. Google is no longer just a place where people search and then click. It's becoming the ultimate place where people discover, compare, ask follow-up questions, get recommendations, and increasingly take action without even leaving Google. The first big takeaway was search. Google is becoming agentic, period. With this changed search behavior, Google is clearly preparing for a world where users do not just type in 1 or 2 keywords and click on one results. Search is asking broader questions, compare options, and expect Google to help them move through their journey. So for businesses, that means SEO is not dead. Actually, the opposite is true. SEO fundamentals become even more important, but really gone are the days where you only rely on your 5 to 10 keywords. Now, if AI systems are getting their information from websites, rankings, product feeds, images, reviews, and credibly, your website structure and content needs to be very clear. Who you are, what do you do, what do you serve, what makes you credible, and why should Google trust your information enough to include you in the AI-generated answer? This is where many brands still have work to do. The website cannot just be a brochure. It needs to be structured, needs to be helpful, descriptive, and easy for both users and AI systems to understand. That includes technical SEO, clear site architecture, strong product information, descriptive images, helpful content, and authority signals. The second takeaway was content. Google's message was not really about whether content is written by AI or by humans. The bigger question is whether the content is actually useful. Are you answering the questions your customers are really asking? Are you helping them understand, compare, and decide? Or is your website just repeating generic sales messages? In the AI search era, vague content will struggle. Helpful, specific, structured content becomes more valuable. The third big area was YouTube. YouTube was always big, but that is not new. But what became even clearer is that YouTube is becoming even more important because it's now much more deeply integrated into search. AI mode, demand gen, there are shorts, shoppings, and product discovery. And the data supports this. Just look at Ahrefs. Google search traffic to YouTube increased by around 1.1 billion searches year on year. That's a massive signal. It shows that YouTube is not just a video platform anymore. It is becoming a bigger part of how people discover, research, compare, and make decisions. So Google positions YouTube not just as a brand channel, but as a performance engine. This makes sense because search behavior is becoming more multimodal. People do not only search with text anymore, they search through videos, creators, reviews, shorts, product demos, visuals, and recommendations. And with AI mode, this becomes even more important because content discovery will not only happen through traditional blue links, it will increasingly happen through a mix of text, video, product information, creators, and AI-generated. So for brands, YouTube can no longer be treated as just a nice-to-have awareness channel. It plays a role in discovery, education, content building, and increasingly commerce. But this also makes the marketing ecosystem much more complex. Brands now need to think about visibility across search, YouTube, creators, shopping services, AI answers, and product feed. The fourth takeaway was commerce. This was one of the more controversial areas. Google introduced updates around agentic commerce, including Universal Commerce Protocol and Universal Cart. The idea is to reduce friction and allow users to move from discovery to checkout more easily through Google-powered experience. Google describes USP as an open standard for agentic commerce across discovery, buying, and post-purchase. From a user perspective, this can be convenient, but from a business perspective, it raises a bigger question. What happens when Google is not only the discovery layer but also the transaction layer? Decide potentially check out through Google, then the role of the website changes. The website becomes less of the only destination and more of a data source, a trust layer, product feed, and backend for AI-powered discovery. That also means zero-click behavior is likely to increase, not decrease. And this is important. More searches do not automatically mean more website traffic. Google shared that search usage in Southeast Asia is growing, but we need to ask what that actually means. Are people doing more independent searches, or are they asking more follow-up questions inside an AI-led journey? Those are two very different things. More searches may benefit Google's ecosystem, but it does not automatically mean more clicks, leads, or revenue for brands. The fifth takeaway was creative. Google's putting a lot of emphasis on generating, testing, and scaling creative through AI, especially through tools like Asset Studio. The promise is faster creative production, more variation, and better performance testing. That can be useful, especially for brands that need more creative volume. But the risk is that everyone starts using similar AI-generated assets, similar formats, similar messaging. So the advantage will not just come from producing more creative. It will come from better creative direction, stronger brand thinking, sharper hooks, and a clearer understanding of what actually drives attention and conversion. AI can help scale creative, but it does not replace the need for taste, strategy, and differentiation. The sixth takeaway was measurement. Google also focused heavily on data strength. Google Analytics, data managers, and better measurement infrastructure. This is important because AI-powered campaigns need better data to perform well. But it also means businesses need to be more disciplined with the first-party data, tagging, the whole setup, conversion tracking, and attribution. If your measurement foundation is weak, AI will not magically fix it for you. It may actually optimize toward the wrong signals faster. So rely too much on automation. They need to make sure that their data is clean, connected, and meaningful. And the seventh takeaway was Google Maps. Google Maps is also becoming more AI-led. With Ask Maps and Gemini integration, users can ask more complex questions about places, activities, local recommendations, and what to do in a specific area. Google says Ask Maps is designed to make local exploration more conversational. So using Gemini and Maps, real-world information. This matters a lot for local businesses because discovery is no longer just restaurant near me or best clinic in Singapore. Users can ask much more specific questions. Where should I go for a quiet dinner? What should I do with friends at night? Where can I find a specific type of experience? Which places fit a certain mood, situation, okay? That means local SEO, reviews, business profile, categories, service menus, and local content become even more important. Local visibility is also becoming agentic. So Google Maps is not just showing locations anymore. It starts to guide your decision. So overall, my main takeaway from Google Marketing Live is that Google's building a more connected, agentic, closed-loop ecosystem with search, YouTube, shopping, creative, measurement, Gemini, and Maps all moving closer together. For users, this may create a faster and more convenient experience. But for businesses, it creates both opportunity and a risk. The opportunity is that brands can be discovered earlier across more surfaces and more formats. The risk is that more of the customer journeys happens inside Google's environment, with visits to your brands or your own website. So businesses should not just chase every new AI feature. They should first get the fundamentals right. Clear website structure, helpful content, strong SEO, descriptive image, clean product data, a strong Google business profile, and a clear strategy across search, YouTube, Maps, and AI visibility. Because in this era, the brands that win, brands that rank, they will be the brands that AI systems can understand, trust, recommend, and act on.